Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison between the Masuter 3S by FoxAlien to right over here, the Masuter 3. So I already have the Masuter 3 built, and I did a video on the build on that machine, so we're not going to do a build on this one right here because I already have it done. If you're interested in building and how to put this thing together, I'll put a link up here in the top right now. That way you can check that out, as well as the description down below. We'll put a link to that video as well. This is the Masuter Pro, which is the older version to these. If you are interested in purchasing a Masuter machine by FoxAlien, I can tell you right now that I highly recommend you just upgrade and purchase the Masuter 3 or the Masuter 3S if you really want to get a lot more power out of the spindles, because this has an upgraded spindle, this has an upgraded motor, and it is just a much better machine than that one, even though it's literally kind of the same. What we're gonna do is let me go ahead and get this one built, and I will put it side by side, and then we'll go ahead and check it out, see the differences, and you can kind of make the decision yourself if you want to purchase one of these machines. But I definitely recommend, if you do purchase, if you're new, to go with the Masuter 3, just because it has a few upgrades that are just so much better than that machine, even though I really do love the Pro. It was my very first CNC machine. I really hate to see it go, but we're gonna go ahead and be upgrading to these machines, and I don't really have any use for that. So with that being said, when we come back, we'll go ahead and have this machine built, ready to go. Let's do it. All right guys, so since we're not gonna go ahead and do this build actually on video, let me just show you the parts real quick that I have laid out here. This is my FoxAlien CL 4x4, and you can see that all of the parts fit on the work area of this machine by itself. So what we're gonna do is let's just go ahead and talk over the parts list, and then when we come back, it'll be built, because I know some of you, this is probably your first time seeing a FoxAlien Masuter 3 or something like that. So I kind of want to just give you an idea of what's coming inside the box. All right, we'll kind of just start over here. I have everything kind of laid out just kind of sporadically. That way when I put it together, I'll have everything at hand real easily. Right here, we have the 400-watt spindle, which is really nice. Again, this is an upgraded version to the Masuter 3. It comes with a piece of spoil board. This is just a piece of just scrap wood MDF that they send you to do a project. You have your waste board right here. This is your base of your machine. It comes with two pieces. Here is your Y-axis dust guards that prevent any dust to get inside your rails right here. It comes with a nice light. I like this light. It's an upgraded version to the Masuter Pro. You have your wiring loom right here, which is actually very nice and easy to put together because everything is nice and wired. Highly recommend never take those tags off. Even sometimes they look a little bit gaudy on there. Never take your tags off, you can see, because you might have to take this thing apart and put it back together. Here's the control box. This is your e-stop. If for some reason your machine isn't working when you try it for the very first time, make sure you press that, because a lot of times people realize that that is compressed in and it won't work. Here are my two Y-axis rails right here. They're already assembled, ready to go. You can see right here that the belts are nice and tight. You probably don't have to do any adjustment from factory. It comes with your two spindle mounts. Again, I believe this is a 65, and the smaller one is for the 400 watt, and the bigger one you can put a router in that. I like to use the Bauer routers because they're very inexpensive, and you can replace them for literally like 30 bucks. You have all of your bits, you have your power cord, you have a little brush. If you're wondering why you get this brush, it's just to help get the dust and stuff outside of your machine after you're cutting. That's kind of nice that they give you that. Here is your X-axis gantry. It's all put together, ready to go. The only thing that you'll need to do is mount your mount with your spindle, but everything else is already put together. Here is a piece of rail extrusion for the base. This is kind of a nice upgrade. This is a really cool color that they went with. Instead of doing the complete color of like this, which is the silver, they have this really cool brushed gunmetal color, which is really cool on the new one. This part right here actually will mount behind the X-axis right here. That'll actually mount behind, and that again is just a mount with these for your belts right here. The belts and your wire loom goes, and that's kind of all the mounts. It comes with a Z-probe, comes with your tools that you'll need to put it together. It comes with your computer, USB, extra belts. This is software that it'll come with. I do not use this software that comes with this. I use Easel Pro, and these are 1/8 inch bits that it comes with, 30 degree 1/8 inch bits. Here are some hold downs that you'll use for your machine to hold down your projects, but I like to use the blue tape method. And then last, we have your instructions. This is the user manual. You can see right there, the 400 by 800 extension kit. We're gonna be doing that on this machine. And the reason why I wanna do it on this machine and not the 3 is because this extends your x-axis, because that extends your y-axis, kind of like this machine here. You can see it's actually really long and deep and not wide. And that's how the upgrade for this machine is. They extend the y-axis, where on this machine, when we get it built and I do the extension kit, the x-axis will be extended. So it'll be 400 by 800. And then that way it's going to be my dedicated laser. This machine eventually will be my dedicated laser machine for the FoxAlien lineup that I have. Super easy to put together. Look at all the colored instructions, just really, really nice. So with that being said, when we come back, I'll have this whole machine put together in maybe like 1 second. So here we go. All right, guys, so we went ahead and we got the machine put together, and I am actually crazily impressed on this new machine. You know, when I went ahead and built the Masuter 3, I was like, oh my gosh, what a huge upgrade from the Masuter Pro. But now the Masuter 3S upgrade from the actual Masuter 3, what an absolute difference. I'm gonna show you the side-by-side of these two machines now and show you how different these two machines are, even though it's basically like big brother, little brother compared to each other. Here we go. So here is, let me move this over. All right, guys, so here is the Masuter 3, which we already built on video and we have that together. Check this out. Here is the Masuter 3S, all built and ready to go. And this machine is just so much more beefier and chunkier than the Masuter 3 over here. Let me see if I can get a far pulled back view and just look at the two combined, the difference in these two machines, how much taller this machine sits up than this machine right here. And another thing is, just check out the difference in Z height that you get on this machine. Now let me get a ruler and I'm gonna show you. I don't know where I put it. Where did I put my ruler? I'm just gonna use this. All right. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is let's go ahead and show you first in inches in the Masuter 3S. You can see you have about a 4-inch clearance from your bed to your top of your Z-probe. So you can basically get a 4-inch piece of wood in between here. Now, if you were to cut a 4-inch piece of wood, you would have to adjust your spindle and things like that, you know, slide your spindle up higher so that it would go into it. There's a lot of different things that you would have to do to make that work, but you definitely could do it. Now, let me show you the Masuter 3. Coming over here, you're only looking at about 3.5 inches. So you get that little extra 1/2 inch on the Masuter 3S. The actual gantry itself, you're looking at about 7 inches total right here. Just check this one out, 9 inches in total. So everything is just so much more beefy on this machine than you would get on the Masuter 3. And you can't even compare these to the Masuter Pro because these are just such a much more upgrade. But here is the huge difference that you're gonna get on this machine. You're getting these NEMA 23 closed loop motors opposed to these little tiny baby NEMA 17s. Much bigger, much chunkier motors that you're gonna get on the Masuter 3S than you would on the Masuter 3. Another thing is the Masuter 3 comes with this little tiny baby 75 watt motor. Nothing really powerful. These things are like basically RC car motors like that right there. And this 400 watt motor is going to actually do a lot better job for you. Now, I used that 400 watt the other day on cutting some hardwoods, and you definitely need to upgrade if you're gonna do a hardwood, but it can do it. It can definitely handle hardwoods. You just can't like powerhouse through it or anything like that. You can see right here also the frame. It's a much beefier frame on this machine, the Masuter 3S, than it is on the Masuter 3. You can see right here this little tiny rail. Much more solid construction on this machine than it is on that machine. Just absolutely awesome. Check out the control boxes, guys. Look, check out this actual control box. This is the Masuter 3S control box, and here is the Masuter 3 control box. Definitely a huge difference in the control box. Now, I did like this small little box. It was tiny. It took up very little space, and it wasn't connected to the actual machine, which I really like that as well, because on the Masuter Pro, the control box is actually mounted, and it kind of like, you know, got in the way of being able to put materials through. Let me show you real quick. You can see right here that this is the Masuter Pro, and the box is actually mounted to the machine, which I don't like that because it was kind of hard getting material kind of in and out of everything, where those two machines, you can slide material easily in and out with no problems. Another thing is the wiring. Check out the little tiny wiring loom on the Masuter 3 opposed to the big wiring loom on the Masuter 3S. They really did some upgrades on that as well. And you can see right here, here's all the plugs. Very easy to hook up. This took me about 40 minutes total, and I got interrupted. So totally about 30 minutes it took me to hook this thing up and get it ready to go. And we are ready to actually cut and do some CNCing. I know I mentioned it before, but I really do like this orange against this gunmetal. I know that's not a factor of how the machine's gonna work, but just the overall appearance, it's definitely a cool looking machine. All right, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the laptop, plug this thing in, and let's give it a try. I haven't even turned it on. It hasn't even been turned on at all by me. There's zero power that's ever been to it. Just remember, again, your e-stop. You gotta turn your e-stop and make sure your spindle speed, you can control it through here. I like to just keep it on full power the whole time. I like these buttons right here. You can pause it and resume it, which is really nice. You got your home, you got your light button, so you can turn your light on and off. I think what we're ready to do is power this thing up and see how it works. All right, went ahead and plugged it in. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to home this machine without plugging in a computer. Let's just see how it homes. Homing sequence worked good. I'm gonna go ahead and slide this over a little bit. That way I can fit my laptop right here. And then, yeah, we'll give it a try. All right, now the one thing I can't do is permanently leave it on its top side like this. The problem is most of the plugs and all that is plugged into the front, so I won't be able to do that. I gotta turn it on its side. All right, so the one thing I'm gonna do is we're not gonna do any fancy camera tricks or anything like that. I went ahead, got it plugged into the computer. It's powered on, it homed right. So the first thing we're gonna do is let's just go ahead and turn on easel and see if easel recognizes this machine right off the bat. I'm not gonna install it at a different machine. I'm actually just gonna leave it as right now the CL 4x4, which I have installed. So it should recognize this right off the bat. All right, what I'm gonna do is press the home button and let's see if it actually homes again. Works. All right, there's the light right there. You can see, you can just turn the light on and off. All right, pretty nice. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and move around and see how the movements work on it. Let's move everything to 10 millimeters and see how it goes. So let's go down. So that's the Z-axis. Z-axis moves up and down really nice. Super quiet machine at that. It's just really quiet. Let's go ahead and move the X-axis. I mean, honestly, super quiet. I don't even hear anything. All right, let's go ahead and move it back. So this is probably one of the quietest, most quiet machines that I have in my arsenal right now from FoxAlien. I didn't hear this at all. It was a little bit quieter than the Masuter 3 and definitely much more quieter than the XE Pro and the CL 4x4. Those you can definitely hear. It's just a winding noise, wah, 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 where these, I mean, this thing is super quiet. I mean, here's my microphone right here. That's crazy. I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and attach a piece of wood onto this and let's just do a little quick engraving and see how it does and make sure that the spindle turns on and everything like that. All right guys, so I went ahead and I got my piece of wood, the material that I'm gonna put down. This is just a cutting board. I think that we bought these from Walmart. You could buy these little cutting boards from Walmart for like $5, something like that. So what I'm gonna do is engrave, it says family gathers here with a little leafy branch on each side. And what I'm gonna do is I put some Oramask on this as well. If you can see this right here, that's Oramask. I never used Oramask with this 30-degree bit that it comes with. So we're gonna see how that does. I got the Oramask down, and then what I'm gonna do is if everything works out well with the Oramask, I'll go ahead and put a little bit of paint inside and then peel off the Oramask and we should be good to go. We're gonna go ahead and just use the default settings on easel. I'm gonna use the center of the project, which is right here. I'm not gonna use the block that they sent. I use that as an actual spacer. I put this block right here and I lined up my piece of wood and dropped it into place using the blue tape method. And what that does is it keeps it lined up and perpendicular to the X-axis right here. So now I know that everything, when it goes back and forth, this piece of wood should be fairly straight, good to go. Let's go ahead and kick off this project, zero it in using the Z probe. And I'm only gonna do a 1mm cut, so this project should only take about 8 or 9 minutes to complete. But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get this done. Hey guys, so at this point, I decided in this video, which I normally do a fast forward, this whole project took about 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna leave it at real time, the whole entire project from start to finish. You're gonna see I'm gonna do a little bit of brushing off and kind of just cleaning it up a little bit. But if you don't wanna watch this whole project from start to finish, just go ahead and fast forward about 5 minutes, and then you'll go ahead and yeah, get to the end of the project. I turned the light on here, just to see what the light was doing, and I normally never use the light, but I just wanted to see how it was. But sometimes if you're trying to zero in and home your end mill into a certain position, sometimes that light does help a little bit to give you an exact point where you're at. But I end up turning it off for the rest of the video. So, all right, I hope you like the cut. And yep, there it is. I turned the light off. Hope you like the cut. And again, if you want to fast forward it, you can. But this was a short project, and sometimes people want to watch the whole thing from start to finish and without fast forwarding. So that's what I do. All right, thanks. All right, guys, so the ore mask worked really good, but the thing is, when you use those little 30-degree bits, they're super fine. What I should have done is I should have actually done a second pass. I should have actually cut it out, then done a second pass. That way it would have actually cut out all those little pieces, and basically there was a bunch that got stuck in. I just used a dart and was able to get some of this stuff out. But like right here, there's a lot of just little sawdust that got compacted in some of the nooks and crannies. But it worked, it did the job, and it blasted right through this 1 millimeter deep cuts at about 760 millimeters a minute, and got this done in about 5 minutes. All right, guys, that is it. That is the difference between the Masuter 3 and the Masuter 3S. This is an absolute amazing machine. I did this whole video in one take. Basically, I started about 2.5 hours ago, and I got from literally unboxing to a finished project. Now, this isn't my perfect favorite project in the world. I just wanted to try out the Aura mask using that 30-degree end mill that it comes with, and it did a pretty good job. The only thing was that my board definitely had some rock to it. I have a high spot on this board over here, so when I zeroed in over here, this was a high spot, this was a low spot. It was taped down. You can actually see right here it has a little bit of a play in it. So what it did was it went a little bit deeper on this side. You can actually see the paint kind of shows that really well. You can see right here that this engrave actually shows a really good description of what could happen if your machine isn't leveled in, and or if your piece is definitely has a high spot or a low spot. You could see right here how that is nice and thin, which means that the end mill only went down maybe about 3/4 of a millimeter, where in here it might have gone down about 1 to 1.25 of a millimeter deep. So you can see the paint actually depicts that really well. It's really thick over here, and then it gets nice and thin over here, because the way that I had it was like this, and I saw a little air gap here, and you can see right there, it's just a little bit high, but that's okay. I might be able to sand this down and kind of even it all out, but I'm not too worried about it. It's just a little quick project that I wanted to do just for a test run. Again, the machine is absolutely awesome. I highly recommend, if you're interested in any of the Masuter line from FoxAlien, the Masuter 3S is the way to go. Bigger spindles, higher Z-axis, bigger motors. The NEMA 23 motors are way more powerful, way more high torque, so that it can power through some of that hardwoods that you really won't be able to do very easily on the NEMA 17s. You're gonna have to do a lot more passes, so this is gonna be a lot more faster machine. And with those NEMA motors, you're gonna save a little bit of time. So if you're gonna use this for projects like at a craft show and stuff like that, you're gonna get your projects done a lot faster. So I will put a link in the description to FoxAlien. It is my affiliate account. I do have an Amazon affiliate account as well that I'll put some links to these machines down below. If you're interested, please check out those affiliate links. They definitely help out the channel. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, go down below, hit that red button, hit that black bell button. That way you get notified of all of my newest videos. I got some really awesome projects coming up. We're going to be expanding this too, and do the expansion kit and hook up the 20-watt diode laser to this machine pretty soon. So I'm pretty excited about that. Lots of cool stuff coming out. Again, thanks so much. We just hit 20,000 subscribers. I want to thank all of my subscribers and all of my members for joining and helping this channel grow. I have a lot of fun doing it, and hopefully you get something out of it and get a little bit of entertainment. Again, I'm not a pro. I'm just a person like you that likes to do this kind of stuff. So if you'd like to subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. But until that next video, make sure y'all do one thing. Stay awesome. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.